Good afternoon, my friends, everybody on Facebook. There's another note from the safety desk from Tim Heath and Joco Safety Solutions. About a week or so ago, I brought you a little message. I did a short video on what it is to become or what it is to be a safety coordinator. I've been a safety coordinator now for 20 plus years. I actually started out in 21 years. Started out in 2000 and started going back to school in my 40s, early 40s, and I thought, I'm not telling my age here, aren't I? But I wanted to. I seen things within the manufacturing plant that I was working at that I knew was unsafe and could be corrected. And one thing led to another, and eventually I became a safety coordinator for the company. And then moving around, and first one company and then another, and kind of building my brand when it comes to safety. And I was sitting in my office one day and I saw a clock on the wall, and the clock said S.H.A.R.P. It was made by S.H.A.R.P. That was the name of the manufacturer. And I thought, what it is to be sharp for safety. I was looking at that clock, and it's like an old schoolhouse clock, and be sharp for safety. What could that mean? And I thought about, okay, let's look at the S. Well, naturally, S stands for safety. Okay. Safety is, safety's first. Safety has to be first. Safety is first. We're going to make safety first. And I thought about, I remember back in the day when I used to see all these bumper stickers or banners, and somebody would say, safety is first priority. Priority number one, safety. And I thought, that is a crock of bull. That is not the case. And the reason I say that is this. Come 12 o'clock during the day, what is your first priority? Well, mine is probably to punch out and go to lunch, okay? Old fat boy likes to eat. The belly starts growling, let's go out and eat. Let's go get something or bring my lunch, whatever the case may be. Let's go to the break room. It's time to have a little snack, okay? Come 3 o'clock in the afternoon or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, what is your first priority then? It's time to go home. Let me start cleaning up and getting things ready. I'm going to the house, okay? If you're at work during the day or somewhere, may not be work, it may be somewhere else, and someone calls you, it may be the daycare, and said, your child has got a little stomach bug. They don't seem like they're feeling well. I need you to come and get them if you will. Well, what's your first priority at that time? Your first priority is to do whatever it takes to look after your family, right? Yes, it is. So where does that put safety? Safety and priority don't mix. Those two words do not go together. It's like oil and water. They don't mix at all, okay? Safety has to be beyond that in our lives. Safety has to be what I call or consider a core value. Now, let me explain. What is a core value? If you think about the things that your parents, your loved ones, who raised you coming up, who brought you up, who instilled things into you, what is right, what is wrong, what is good, what is bad, whether it's politics, religion, whatever the case may be, those things that were instilled to you, Tim cannot sit up here as a safety coordinator and a trainer and change that. There's just no way. I can't make you change your mind. Those things are core values. That's where safety has to be in our lives. Safety has to be instilled into us so that no matter what we do while we're doing it, those things are not going to change. They're there. We can't make them change. It is what it is. That's where safety has to be in our lives, at our workplace, at our homes, at our place of business, whatever the case. That's where safety has to be a core value. Then, and only then, can safety be first. Okay? Let's move to the H. Hazards can be limited. Can hazards be limited? Yes, they can. Here's how. We see things day in and day out that are not right, that could potentially hurt us. There's a bridge. I'm standing on top of that bridge. I know it's a hazard if I jump off that bridge, right? Yes, it is, by all means. If I stand out in traffic and play, is that a hazard? Yes, it is. Is it a hazard if I walk downstairs from my house and do not hold the handrail or the guardrail? Either one. And I'm just running down the stairs. Is that a hazard? Is it a hazard if I speed and go beyond the speed limit, let's say in a 55 mile per hour zone? It's there for a reason, okay? Is it a hazard if I do not tie off properly when I'm in a bucket truck, or if I'm doing a confined space entry? Should I not be tied off? Should I not use that gas monitor to monitor the carbon monoxide or hydrogen sulfide that's in that hole or in that confined space prior to me going in it? Yes, I can limit those hazards. If I have a shovel that has a broke handle, and I've got this, is that shovel in an unsafe condition? Yes, it is. What would be the unsafe act? If that's the unsafe condition, the unsafe act would be me using that shovel. So I can limit that by doing one or two things, simply by not using it and maybe replacing it with a new shovel. Okay? Very simple. H, hazards can be limited. All right? S.H.A.R.P, awareness. Awareness is key in everything we do. We have our weekly tailgate sessions. We have our monthly training sessions. We go to conferences. We talk to people. We talk about safety and how safety is going to drive what we do as an industry. Safety is going to be first and foremost. I'll start an email out, and I send it out a lot of times, and people really like it. And I say, just like I did this video, another note from the safety desk. And I talk about how we can limit those hazards. Well, what am I doing? I'm driving that awareness. Okay? R, responsibility. Whose responsibility is it? It's actually my responsibility. Safety is my responsibility. It's my responsibility to make sure that not only I'm safe, but that you're safe. I'm going to do everything I can within my power to eliminate or at least limit that hazard that's there. As a safety coordinator, I'm going to drive that awareness. It's my responsibility. It's your responsibility to make sure that you're safe. It's your responsibility to make sure that you clean up that oil spot that you see on the floor or that water spill that you see on the floor. It's your responsibility when you're operating that powered industrial truck that when you stop it, that you put those forks all the way to the floor, that you pull that emergency brake, that you use good 3-point contact getting off and getting on that powered industrial truck. Last, participation, P, participation. We all have to participate in a good safety program. We all have to participate in ensuring that one another is safe in our daily activities. We all have to participate and make sure that it's each one of us' responsibility to do what we have to do, what needs to be done, so that I can go home at night to my family, that you can go home at night to your family with all your 5 fingers on this hand, your 5 fingers on the other hand, your all 10 digits on hands and feet. We all have a responsibility. When you talk about safety to your friends, to your co-workers, do it with a passion for their safety. Do it with a passion. That P can not only stand for participation, but it could be for passion. That we all work safely, that we all go home at night. Okay? This concludes another note from the safety desk. Again, hit the like button, hit the subscribe